Welcome to Save the Game Media's top 5 games of 2024. I am your host, Kevin, and I am joined by the majority of Save the Game Media's podcast network. We have from the reincarnation, Kyle and Bree. Sorry.
Taylor has not been invited to the nation.
I watch so much
One
anime.
day. Yeah,
I watch Dragon Ball.
Don't.
That is. Bree, how are you?
I'm tired, but I'm good.
Kyle, how are you? Manchester United 2-2. Not too bad.
We deserve more.
Did deserve more.
Refs robbed us.
Sam, I hear that a lot of northern England is under snow right now. Are you also in this blizzard? How are you doing?
I am away from the snow, thankfully. I'm in southern England, so
okay.
Close call.
I'm going to visit Sam's house in Euro Truck Simulator 2.
That sounded more ominous than you probably meant it to be.
Yeah, I'm coming for you. You ever seen Hostel?
I have.
Oh God! All right, Taylor. I accidentally introduced you as part of a podcast you're not on. You're on No Limits with Sam. How are you, buddy?
Doing good, Kev. Ready to truck.
Are you going to talk about Euro Truck Simulator the entire time?
No, I didn't start playing Euro Truck Sim until this year, so it can't be on my list for last year.
Oh, okay, but it's for this year. Number one already. All right, and finally, the host of Save the Game Boy, our Nintendo podcast, who must be thrilled with all these Switch 2 leaks. You see that Joy-Con? It looked like a Joy-Con. Everybody's freaking out.
Well, there were some changes to it that were pretty noticeable.
Brandon, how are you doing?
I'm extremely excited. Leaks are all what they are. We don't have a treehouse yet for Nintendo to actually physically announce when everything's coming. If the date that has been leaked is correct, more than likely in the next couple weeks, we're going to have our treehouse. I'm going to do my special. We're going to have fun. And you know what? We're going to talk about games today.
Yeah, before we get to the Game of the Year list, I do hope Nintendo puts their Direct on a day I have off or telecommute, so I could a little live react thing. But I recalled Xbox is doing a developer Direct on the 22nd, I believe I said something like that. So Nintendo's got to get going here, right? I think tomorrow would be great.
You may actually see me doing a recording at work if Nintendo does treehouse there. I will take my lunch and then I will just sit there and talk.
All right, everyone. Well, this is, as I said, Save the Game Media's Game of the Year recording. We're doing a little different this year, as we do every single year. We have yet to find a format that we all actually like. We're changing every year. And in fact, I already have kind of an idea how to change it for next year, so we'll see if we stick with this format. But Sam Heaney over here has put together a lovely presentation that he will share, and we will go through our top 5 cumulative game scores, whatever you want to call them. No, that's not even. We'll go through our 5 to 1, see where the cumulative score of all of our rankings, and then we'll go through individual lists with some honorable, dishonorable mentions. I'm losing control of the podcast, so this is why we keep the groups to Patreon. All right, you guys are out of control.
Every time you say cumulative, it sounds like you're going to say cumulonimbus. I don't know what you want from
why?
me.
Why? It's a very common word.
I don't know. I'm really tired.
Sam, would you like to share your presentation with the group?
I certainly can. I am going to have to retrofit this a little bit, so give me 5 seconds.
Is it a PowerPoint? Please tell me it's a PowerPoint.
Not quite. I mean, essentially, but
I'm scared.
Okay, right. So let's go to share the screen. We are going. Hopefully, this works.
I don't have time to make a PowerPoint this year.
Present.
Okay,
are we in?
I liked yours last year. It was very good. We're here.
Excellent. So hopefully this works as intended. Apologies if not.
I see it.
So, Save the Game Media's 2024 top 5 games of the year. Here we go. Starting off, of course, with number 5.
Do we have any guesses before?
That's an interesting call.
Yeah. Do we want to like guess what we
Metaphor
think?
meets Phantazo.
Not this low.
Yeah, this low.
Well, here's the thing, though. I think Kyle and I put
Kevin
that
and I are the
game
only ones who played
high.
it.
I know.
I think the rest of you screwed up this list.
On purpose.
Dare you?
Prince of Persia.
Ooh, Prince
No.
of Persia's not a bad. No, I'm gonna go with. Oh my God,
Animal Well.
I'm gonna say Neva.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Animal Well. That's a good one. I like that.
Animal Well's a good shout, actually.
Just because I know a few of you were really high on it.
I didn't play it, so can't speak to it.
Okay, interesting guesses. This is probably going to show us how emblematic of the rest of the list. This is gonna
Yeah.
get very interesting very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, because quite unbelievably, in 5th place,
I swear to God, if it's Astrobot.
Final Fantasy.
1,000 times.
Oh, okay.
Resist.
Thank
You know,
God.
I was in the back of my mind because I knew that you guys played it and really loved it.
So that means Bree and Sam put this very high on their individual lists.
So,
I don't know what this game is.
Ooh.
Bree, do you want to speak first, or shall I?
I'll let you speak first.
Okay. 1,000 times resist is a game that I shouldn't love, but I do. It snuck up on me this year. It was a very late addition to my Game of the Year list. I don't want to oversell it, but I subjectively truly believe that it is probably one of the best narratives I've ever experienced in a game. I think that everybody you hear talking about it says that, and it sounds like hyperbole, but I think the relatively unanimous opinion is that that is in some form correct for different people. It's not my style of gameplay that I like. It is essentially imagine Persona with no combat. You are just going around and talking to people, and the people don't even animate when you speak to them. Fully voice acted, but I think that the narrative that they tell, the themes that the game tackles in particular, and the mastery with which they tackle those themes, I am still blown away by it, and I played it like a month ago. I'm thinking about it pretty much every day. And I said this, me and Bree did a 2.5 hour spoiler cast review discussion.
2.5 hour.
And we barely scratched the surface.
We could have
And
gone longer for sure.
yeah, we said at the time that it was a game that is really hard to fully encompass at one time. You kind of have to look at individual elements of it because there's so much to unpack that it's mind-boggling, really. And I will say as my final salvo that this is a debut game from an indie studio. I think it's incredible for that. And also as somebody who trained their entire lives to be an actor and to be on the stage, many of the people that developed this have a background in sort of immersive theater. So that informs a lot of the staging of shots, the cinematography, the colors, staging of characters. And I think that also helped it resonate with me really, really deeply. So I truly cannot recommend this game enough if you love narrative in games.
It's on my wish list on Steam because there's no console versions, right? Yeah.
Not yet, no.
Okay. So it's on my wish list on Steam because I have heard you guys praise it, and then I've heard other people like in the carpool gaming community. I know there's a lot of people over there really high on it, made some of their game of the year top list. I'm a little concerned I won't like it because it is essentially a visual novel, right? Like how long is it? I think I need to know.
Ooh, like
I think
12? 13?
Yeah, I went quite slow, and it took me 14 hours.
So
Yeah, I
six
Yeah,
or so.
so
Kevin.
6 for Kevin.
Yeah, but I think interpreting it as a visual novel is incorrect.
Okay.
Because you are actually moving your character around and exploring spaces and interacting with objects and things like that. So there is a little bit more to it than that, but I think that is the easiest.
So is it like an
descriptive
old
way.
school adventure game?
Not quite. It's very hard to describe. I think it is, as somebody who hasn't played a lot of Persona, like Persona, or from my understanding, Metaphor, where you are exploring these spaces and interacting with characters stood in very specific locations and having dialogue with them and advancing the story that way. If you take the combat out of Metaphor, which a lot of people might say is one of the core pillars, sure, but this game is specifically solely focused on the narrative, and I don't think it suffers because it doesn't have any other gamey stuff in it.
Silkinit, who's hanging out in chat with us, says it took him 8 hours. So if you read fast, 6 to 7 is doable. Says it's a walking simulator, which I can get behind.
14
a walking
hours
simulator.
for me.
Yeah,
I do not read fast.
Me either, Brandon.
I'm training. I'm reading more. Almost done Dracula. All right. Maybe I'll do 1,000 Times Resist next as my next novel.
Nah, my fiance reads all the time, and I'll sit next to her, and I'll be like, all right, let's start at the same time, and then she'll like flip the page when I'm like halfway down the first page, and it's like, oh my god, nobody knows what's going on.
Jeez.
It took me 2 years to finish this book.
2 years to finish a book.
Yep.
Hey, you finished it.
Yeah.
That's more
I've
books
been
than
reading
I've finished
Dracula
in
for 4
last
months, and
year.
I'm about to finish it. So hey.
Bree, I want to let you talk about it since I assume you were the only other person here that played it.
I actually didn't play this game. No, I'm just kidding.
You just put it on your list. I knew this whole thing was rigged.
The
You
reveal.
faked that
The
whole
reveal.
spoiler cast.
I just faked 2.5 hours of a spoiler cast. Can you imagine? That'd be wild. I think it's very safe to say that this is like pretty close to a walking sim. That's just enough not a walking sim that it made it to the motion sickness for me, which was great. No, I really did love this game so much. I think you'll be hard pressed to find a narrative that is as layered as this one. That's not to say that maybe you won't come across like better narratives or poignant narratives, whatever you want to, like whatever your preference is, like fine. But I think like the way that this is like layered on top of itself, there's so many different themes that interact with each other. There's so many different stories. There's so much in there that like when you get to the end of the game, it's kind of shocking. But I think it's really incredible. You can't go into this game expecting like a AAA experience because it just is not a AAA experience. If you go in expecting this game to be perfect and the best thing you've ever touched, like you're going to be disappointed. If you go in expecting like an indie game that has an incredible story, I think you'll have a great time. So the only thing I have to say on top of that is Hecky Grace. So.
Yeah,
if you played the game, go check out our spoiler cast. I know the developers over on Blue Sky, and it got a lot of love over there from their community. So people have been checking it out, and they've been very happy with it. So
Are we sure it's not pronounced like an anime title where you ignore the X?
1,000.
they've clarified it is in the title. Yes.
Also,
That's
I
so
learned
funny because I asked that first too. So go ahead.
did.
Sorry, go ahead, Taylor.
the developers are not. The developers are, I think, Asian Canadian developers. They're not. Actually, I don't know if they're. No, I think they're native. There's the
What are you trying to say
developers.
right now?
They're not Asian. They're, I think, like Canadian Native American.
No,
And
They're from China.
Yeah.
wait, they
from Hong
are? I
Kong.
thought they were Canadian, Native American.
they are in Canada.
They're
but
they're
via
Vancouver.
immigration.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not Asian.
the point I was trying to make is that the studio is based in the West, even though it has the aesthetic of a game you might traditionally
Because
associate with the
they're
East,
from-
right?
Taylor, are you trying to think of the word
Because they're from
Inuit?
the
Oh, that's it is. They're Inuit.
They're not.
No,
They're not Inuit?
No.
Oh,
I swear to God, I thought they were
they're Chinese.
affiliated with some
No.
native
All right,
tribes.
let's just move on. You know?
Okay.
Not there's anything wrong with that.
Next one.
Yes, nobody else had 1,000 times this on the list. So,
No.
number 4.
Do you want to do guesses again?
Oh, I don't even know what what do you guys even play this year? What came out this
Helldivers
year?
2.
Ugh, wasn't on my list.
I
Yeah,
don't
it
know
wasn't
what-
online either.
I feel like I could pick pieces off like most of your lists except Brandon. I have no idea what he put on his lists.
I also don't know.
Mega Man.
Wild card.
Yeah.
Balatro.
Yo, I was about to say Balatro.
Mm,
Balatro.
I'll go Balatro. Yeah.
I can agree. I could sit at home.
Interesting.
Silicon. I wish it was 9 Souls. I wish it was 9
Interesting.
Souls.
Number 4. We have a tie.
Ooh,
Oh.
we get 6 games.
all right, go
That's
on.
if there's
Tie.
no other ties.
Is between Unicorn Overlord
Let's go.
and Metaphor
What?
Refranchise.
They're this
What is
low. Wow.
Wait,
All right. Well,
Kyle? Kyle,
Oh, this low.
I'll leave after this one, guys.
what did we do to cause this?
Yeah, that had to be you guys.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
100% us.
Yeah, say
The
nobody
only-
else played these, right?
Nope.
The only
Nope.
Kevin, the only way I imagine that we cause this is that we have them flip flopped in the same spots on our
Indeed,
list.
you do.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm looking at the list I sent Sam right now, and
Yeah.
wow. Okay, so you put okay, so you put
Yeah.
Unicorn Overlord higher than Metaphor.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, but well, since you put it higher, talk about Unicorn Overlord.
Yeah, Unicorn Overlord is fantastic. Vanillaware coming out strong with a beautiful art style. One of the best non-Fire Emblem SRPGs. Had everything. I mean, the story is nothing like super spectacular, but it does have some cool like alternate endings that you can get based on choices you make. The choices actually like matter. Like Kevin and I did like the nations in completely different orders. You like who you recruit, how you recruit them, the romance, the relationship building between your units is great. The actual building of like your units, like who leads the unit and what effect that gives them. Like, oh, this person is led by like a flying knight versus this one's led by a mage. They're better, they're better against certain other enemy units. It's all super in depth and super great. And just when you go into battle, it like transitions into like this beautiful like 2D art style where they fight on like basically what looks like a fighting game plane. But it's fantastic. You can skip through that too. You don't have to watch it every time, but it is really nice regardless. Unicorn Overlord, fantastic. Absolute must play if you like Fire Emblem or any SRPGs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
yeah. I second.
so-
Oh, sorry, Bree. You can go.
No, I was just gonna ask. So, is it on your list, like because you like the combat?
I like
Or, like-
everything about it. I like the
Okay.
character designs. I like the music. I like the story, and I like the combat tactical gameplay of it. Yeah.
I would say that I also really do like everything about the game, but I think I put it lower than you because I think the story isn't as strong as some of the others on my list, and maybe I value story a little more. It's not a bad story; it's kind of just generic Japanese affair, essentially. Though, what I do really love about Unicorn Overlord is the customization of the units, though. Like, you can make anyone these classes, you can recruit like named characters, and like I had a whole squad of just Pegasus Knights, and 3 of them were essentially just characters I recruited, gave them names, made their custom. I'm like, you guys are characters now in my game. Like, you can just have unique playthroughs every time, and that is something I love. And that's something like you look at Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I've replayed that game about 7 times, right? And that's because like, oh well, what if I made this archer character a mage in this playthrough, or what if I made this mage a warrior and put her on the front lines? It doesn't make any sense, but it's just fun to see how you can mix and match those things and get unique combinations. And yeah, I second everything. I think the game is phenomenal from an artistic standpoint, a gameplay standpoint, a strategy standpoint. Love it.
And we 100%ed it.
Yep, 100% club. That's right. Brandon, I think you would like this one. I'm just saying.
Unicorn Overlord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Fire Emblem like friendship system and tactic stuff turns me off.
What?
I don't like tactics. I like getting into the action right away. Like, I'm having trouble right now keeping my attention on Fire Emblem Warriors.
Really? That game is I thought that game was a blast.
That's direct action.
Yeah,
I love when I'm in the action, but then when it pulls me out and it says, "Hey, put your character over here to overtake this area," I'm like, no, I will do it myself because this is how I play these games. I don't care where my teammates are. I don't care if they die. I take care of this and wipe out the area myself.
That's messed up.
In Fire Emblem, we gotta care when people die.
There's permadeath.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a permadeath run, and it's just gonna be my character.
I strongly care when people die.
So that's the main like attraction to Fire Emblem.
I will reset the entire stage if someone dies.
You have emotional.
It's the least attractive part of Fire Emblem.
I did a
tied to each character, so battles and gameplay are extremely high stakes.
Kyle saw this, but I did my last 3 houses run. I did a maddening run, which is the hardest difficulty, permadeath. And I was on the final stage for 4.5 hours because I was so scared to lose everyone. I was playing like so safe, and I had done that multiple times. Like I had lost that battle multiple times at that point. So that was like, I've been down this road. It's like, all right, I know how this is gonna go. And I finally did it.
Maybe that's the mode I belong on.
Maybe. But we have a tie with Metaphor ReFantazio. So I put this one higher than you, Kyle. And I'm interested to know why you. I thought it would be higher on your list. I do think the game, I don't want to say falls apart, but I think it stumbles at the end of the game with some ridiculous difficulty spikes. I think it maybe goes on a little too long, where it's like, hey, this is the final battle. And then like 6 hours later, it's like, this is the final battle. And I was like, okay, but is it actually? And then you go, it's like, maybe it could be. So there are some stumbling blocks. I do think overall, this is the strongest Atlas game that came out this year for me. Like, and I'll talk about Persona 3 Reload later in the show, but like I'd say they perfected their archetype or persona system as you want it. Like, this is what I want going forward in Persona games. I want every character to be able to use all them. I want to be able to mix and match, make these powerful archetypes, personas, whatever you want to call them. I think they perfected the social links system in this. Like, it's not like, oh, hey, you have to hang out with this person 3 times, or you hang out with them twice, and then on one day you'll get a bonus link. It's like, no, every time you hang out with them, you get some sort of stat increase. You make it meaningful. The only thing I think holding Metaphor back from being better than, say, like Persona 5 Royal is the dungeons. The dungeons are pretty, like, I'd say PS3 era, like, not really much going on there. Like, they have cool artistic environments going on, but there's no like puzzles to solve in them most of the time, right? Like, at most you get some open these doors and stuff, but I don't know. I think there's a really good story here. Some of the best characters of the year are in this game. Like, I think Stroll is really strong. Juna, Yufa, Heisman, no, everyone loves. He didn't quite hit with me the way he's hitting with a lot of people, but they have some really good characters and story in Metaphor. So for me, it is one of the best JRPGs and the best games of the year.
And then they also have one of the best companion characters that doesn't get annoying when she's telling you like things to do, and she actually feels like your companion. Talking about Gallica. Gallica is top tier. I would agree with everything you said about the archetype, Kevin. The only And for the social links, the only thing I would say is that I did kind of miss like the romance option from Persona, especially because like they like hint at it so much with like a bunch of the characters' scenes, but then it's just like, oh, well, I guess you could take it this way, or they could just be friends or something. I don't know. I was like, oh well.
I'd say there is probably a canon romance in there. You know, with
So
Yeah,
Canon
it's
says
Galka.
Galka should just shut up in battle. She was very good out of it.
No,
Oh,
Galka should never shut up. Galka's the best.
I played with the Japanese voice acting, so like I don't know what she's saying anyway.
As you should. You
Just
should
hear-
always play in Japanese for Japanese games.
Except Final Fantasy VII.
Even Final Fantasy,
Hey,
especially
I've
Final
heard
Fantasy,
excellent
I'd
things
say.
about Yakuza 7 moving forwards English cast.
But yeah, two great choices for number 4. I'm kind of sad that we unintentionally made
We
them
canceled.
Yeah, we canceled them out, but yeah, they deserve to be on here for sure.
All right, guys. Well, I'll just mute myself because I don't think I have anything else to talk about for the rest of the podcast.
So, moving on to number 3.
All right,
Any
guesses?
guesses?
Oh,
Astro? Or is that too low?
It's too low for me personally, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm considering
Stellar
Astro
Blade.
is going to be at this spot.
Stellar Blade, yeah.
Oh,
Stellar
that's-
Blade, yeah,
I think Stellar Blade is number 3.
yeah, that's a good shout, Kyle.
It might be number 2 because
Might
a
be
lot
number
of
2
people
with-
played it.
How many of us played it? See, I think it's Stellar Blade or Astrobot is a safe bet.
Hmm.
I'm going Stellar Blade.
Okay. Well, seems we're giving a lot of
I'll do Stellar
love
Blade.
to a lot of games this year because we have another tie.
I knew
Let's
it.
go!
Don't tell
Almost
me
like
it's
we
been-
should have done top 10.
Yes.
Don't tell me it's between.
It is
Go.
between
Stellar Blade and Astromech. Come on.
Oh my god, what a combination!
Helldivers
okay.
is
Helldivers
interesting.
and
Stellar
Blade.
Blade.
Oh,
All
get
right.
outta
Helldivers
here.
out of here.
I'm the guy who played Helldivers, not Stellar Blade, so shoot me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get outta here.
No,
You should
Taylor.
title the
Let's
stream.
let's hear from you because
Yeah.
you put Helldivers. I don't know where you put it. We'll find out later.
Where
But
did I put it?
it doesn't matter. We'll got your list later in the show. So Helldivers 2. What do you love about it?
Yeah. I mean, I can just tell you I put it number 2. For games I played this year, not that came out this year, that I played this year.
But this one did come
I
out.
love the
It
setting.
did come out this year, luckily. So
Sorry, that 2024. Yeah. Starship Troopers is great, and I love that sort of parody of putting fascism on its head. And Helldivers 2 totally embodies it. I never played the first game, but I'm usually not a guy for multiplayer shooters. But the loop of just killing an onslaught of bugs or robots or automatons and terminids are the technical terms for the robots and bugs in the game. The gameplay loop is extremely fun. It's amazing when you just throw down an airstrike and you see your plane come in and just rip the ground to hell with the weapon you put down. Like the environmental damage you can do as a team is extremely visually and gameplay wise impressive. And it's all co-op, so there's no PvP. It's you and your friends versus the environment, PvE, and it's really fun working with each other, trying to work the objectives, supporting your friends when they're down. The guns feel really good on DualSense with the adaptive feedback for the different guns makes each gun feel pretty different. And the guns can get pretty deep with aim down sights and different loadouts you can do with your stratagems, your equipment, and your weapons. So it's a multiplayer game that I haven't been gripped this much by a multiplayer game since Smash Ultimate when that came out. And they just did the Killzone collaboration recently, which was amazing. And they've had really good. Another good thing is their version of battle passes, which they call not war chests,
War bonds.
war bonds. Yeah, war bonds is I think attainable for the regular player. It's not a real pay to. You don't have to grind super hard for pay to win to get access to some really cool weapons. And it's cross-play on Steam and PlayStation. And I never had issues playing with people on through either platform, and I have it on PC. So Yeah.
Okay. Helldivers 2. Who else had Helldivers 2 on their list?
I had it on
yeah, I'm
mine as
assuming
well.
it was Sam. Yeah.
It was lower down on my list, but then it had the most recent update that dropped at the Game Awards, which introduced the new faction, the new enemy faction, urban warfare environments, cities on the maps, things like that. And I had dropped off of Helldivers earlier in the year, and then this update has pulled me right back in, and it hasn't let me go yet. And I will not say much more, but I'll just echo what Taylor said and go even further, where I just straight up don't remember the last time that a multiplayer shooter or multiplayer anything had its hooks in me the way that Helldivers did and now does yet again. And I think that if it's been a rocky year for Helldivers, there's been ups and downs. I do think that if they maintain what they have and build in a steady, good cadence of updates, don't get too greedy, I do think it has the potential to be one of the defining multiplayer games of the generation. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it didn't make my list. It's one of those games that I played not nearly as much as everyone else. I think I put maybe 15, 20 hours into it. I did drop off as I think the progression is pretty slow. That's why I dropped off, but I understand why everyone loves it, because I remember the last time I played was with Jam Pack Sam and I think some members over in the XCP community, and we were laughing our heads off, just blowing each other up constantly. We were on a difficulty that was way too hard for us. Like, there is fun moments to be had in Helldivers 2, and I think that's why it resonates with people so much.
Yeah, I believe I'm pretty sure Jampack Sam also had it on his list as well.
I would not be surprised. All right, Stellar Blade. Who had Stellar Blade on their list?
Me.
So the bottom, Kyle, did you have it? No. Okay, so Bree
Kyle.
and Brandon had it on their list.
This
Bree,
is a betrayal.
Bree, I'm gonna let Brandon go first. We haven't heard from him yet, and then I'll
It
throw
was
you in there.
it was number 6.
I don't want to hear it. I don't hear it. Top 5 or nothing.
Brandon, what do you love about Stellar Blade?
Listen, I love these types of action games that give you a little bit of Souls, some Devil May Cry, and a nice story to go with it. I love these kinds of games. These are built for me. I'm not on the train that's like, oh my god, I gotta have a hot character. I don't care what the character looks like. I like the fun gameplay loop of this, and it keeps me interested and keeps me going. That I'm close to a platinum on it, but it was able to keep my attention. And even Graham likes this game. My 5-year-old plays this game. Made it through the first tutorial boss.
Wait, on normal difficulty?
On normal difficulty.
Okay, I feel
Wow.
bad about myself. Guys.
You should.
You should, Kev. You should feel bad.
You should,
Good
Kev.
game. And with me and Bree having it on our list and it being number 3 makes it so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Bree, you want to wax poetic about Stellar Blade?
I do. So this is number 2 for me on my list. I have a lot of good things to say about this game. I will say, Brandon, the one thing I disagree with is that the story is good.
Oh,
I did not play this game for the story, which is
I
Sounds all
picked
right.
apart lore like a madman.
which is the only thing that I have to complain
The
about. in
story
this
was the most
entire
predictable
game.
part.
yeah.
It wasn't horrible, but it was like it was very cookie cutter. It felt like they were trying to copy Nier without understanding what made the story of Nier so special. And I think when they were trying to make a comparison, like the way that they kind of talk about humanity makes it very obvious that they're trying to copy it. But again, like it's just a copy without the soul. So yeah, this game is genuinely incredible. The art, the animations are so
The plot.
stunning. Brandon said he didn't play this for the looks. I did play this for the looks. Spent a lot of time carefully picking out my outfit. How much do you want to show? Do you want to show everything? Only half of something?
What
this-
bonuses do you want on that outfit? Oh, I'll
Yeah.
take that one.
We
All of them.
just to cut in, I believe Kyle, Bree, and I did a spoiler cast discussion that's still available on the channel. And then I believe during that we rank or we go through some of the
we
best
talked about
outfits.
our favorite outfits. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have a feeling that my favorite outfit has now changed since they added some new stuff in the game, but have not confirmed yet. I will say I think one of my my two favorite things about this game, which is actually really interesting to me, because I would say that combat is one of the things that I value least in a video game, which is kind of weird because it's like if you're playing a video game, the whole point of it is like how the game plays. But I think for me, a lot of what makes games so special is the interactivity, and like the way that the story is told. So the combat for this game was incredible, for me. I said it jokingly during the review, but I still feel the same way that this is, this is what I wanted,
Elden
out
Ring to
of,
be.
no. This is what I wanted. Like the gun combat for like the dungeon pieces,
Bloodborne.
is what I wanted Callisto Protocol to be like.
Not getting ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah. So the combat was incredible. I will say I think my favorite thing as time has gone on has been the soundtrack. The soundtrack is consistently playing when I have been playing music. So it was in my top played songs of last year. The soundtrack is 11 out of 10.
So I got two things. One, I don't know if any channel on YouTube mentions the Callisto Protocol more than Save the Game Media.
That's our calling cast.
A lot of that
It's
is
because it's the worst game.
it's a great game. Yeah,
Great.
I'm
Welcome
right
to
there
Save
with
the
you.
Callisto Protocol.
Their
Save
twin
me
stick shooter
from-
Redacted was free on Epic, and I picked it
So
up. the other
Cannon
day.
says the
Mhm.
K-pop on that boss at the end was so good.
I
Oh
agree.
He's
my
so good.
god, right?
Two, this is an honorable mention for me. So I was going to bring this up later.
Same.
Didn't make my list, but it was an honorable mention because I think it's a great game. I did just like generic story held me back. And I'm excited to see what they do with the sequel. I'll be there. I'm glad they give difficulty options, although, as I've proven with Bloodborne,
You're bad.
I don't need them anymore. I
don't need
Hey,
them
Evan,
anymore.
can we have you continue on Bloodborne?
I uninstalled Bloodborne.
You didn't answer. You still didn't say no.
Maybe one day. Maybe next Extra Life. Maybe
That's
next
still
Extra
not a
Life, yeah.
no.
If I could beat 2 bosses a year, I'll have Bloodborne done in no time.
You will have it done
Before
approximately
the
in 6
remaster.
years.
Before the
By
remaster.
If you're doing optional bosses too, I think 5 to 6 years, without DLC.
What? I was gonna say, there's no way.
Stand by what I said.
You can see Sam hurting live.
Yeah, so can it.
All right. Do we got anything else to say on either of these before we move on?
Holy cow,
Shout
those,
out to-
those
shout out
physics.
to
You know
Eve.
what I mean?
Shout out to shout out to Shift Up for not being afraid in 2024 to
Wait,
make,
Sam, you played this
make a
game,
great
right?
character.
Of course he did.
I did.
We talked about it on the podcast.
How far? I know. I was just confirming for the listeners. Anyway,
Okay.
It would be an honorable mention for sure.
I was gonna say, how far down would this be on your list? Because
It probably wouldn't have been. It probably wouldn't have been 6, but it might have been 7 if I had to order below 5.
Mhm.
So
That's fair.
so number
Another
2.
tie.
Number 2, Astrobot.
Astrobot.
Okay,
No.
but here's the thing. If Astrobot is 2, what is 1?
I don't know.
Final
I'm very
Fantasy.
curious about what number 1 is.
Ooh.
Number 1
ooh,
has to be Astrobot.
Wait, what did he say?
ooh.
I think I said Astrobot is number 2 and then Final Fantasy is number 1.
Oh,
Nobody likes
Rebirth.
Final Fantasy.
I forgot Rebirth exists.
That's a
Yeah.
silly thing to say.
I think Final
Mm.
Fantasy's 2, Astrobot is 1.
I'm agreeing with Bree.
I'm
I
agreeing.
forgot to
I'm
put Final
agreeing
Fantasy on my
with
list.
Bree.
I'll say Rebirth.
Rebirth.
Okay, wait. Before we show, Final Fantasy Astrobot tied at 2.
I don't know where we go from there.
No, I feel like this is going to be it.
Number
Okay.
one, secretly Ultros.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the real confusion because
Oh no, animal one.
It's a triple tie.
at number 2,
Belatra.
we have nothing.
What?
Did Astrobot
Because you had
and
It's a
tie
tie
for
So-
one.
first.
Here is why. There is a few factors contributing here. With the point totals for the games that you all submitted to me, we had 1,000 Times Resist, the 2 ties, and then we had number 1. So that meant there was either not a number 5, a number 4, or a number 3,
Gotcha.
or a
yeah,
number
yeah.
2. And I chose number 2, not only for suspense purposes, but also because the rift between points of the third place ties and first place was bigger than any other gap.
Sam, can I tell you something?
Yes.
I am Astrobot.
Yeah.
On
What
here,
this
is Stellar
also-
Blade's number 2.
What this also means, ladies and gentlemen, this is a revelation for you all. If a game on your top 5 has not appeared yet, outside of one, maybe exception, it means you are the only person who voted for that game.
That adds up.
Yeah,
I know.
Which
there's
means
3
there
games on my
is
list.
some big upsets here.
yeah,
because-
I think it's 3 games for
If
most.
it's not
people's lists.
Astrobot, I'm gonna freak. Just
It's
Because-
Astrobot.
Number 1
It's Astrobot.
is that
Yeah.
Ugh,
It's
I was about
Astrobot.
to freak out, you guys.
Is it really that good? We'll see. We'll see when I play it this year.
Save the Game Media's number 1 game.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
That's
how-
what I will tweet it out as in a few days.
That is how the cookie crumbles. I will say, we'll get into the lists, but for context, every other game that's come on the top 5, top 6 technically list prior made it on a maximum of 2 people's lists. Astrobot was on 4.
So not more
So-
than one person in this Save the Game had Rebirth as in their top 5.
That would be correct.
Not
Tony.
any of them?
So
Yeah.
here's the
You
thing.
guys all suck.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Kyle had
all of
Kyle had Final Fantasy 7 in his top 5. Clearly, he did not have Astrobot, so he's clearly. Well,
We
you said
played
only.
this crap.
You said whoa. You said 4 people at Astrobot.
Yes,
So me, you, Bree, and Brandon.
correct.
Okay. I think I had it the lowest. I had it 5. So if anybody that had it higher wants to go first
I
to
had
talk
it number
about it.
1.
I had number 2. But can I go first? Because I'm going to
Sure.
give you the family angle, which
Okay.
nobody else has.
Absolutely.
Oh,
So I've always grown up on platformers, 3D platformers when Mario 64 came out. But there's something beautiful about this game and watching Graham play it. Being able to figure out how to beat the bosses, how to navigate each level, how to figure out how to use each item and benefit just almost intuitively. For someone who has played a little of Pokemon, a lot of Sonic, and some Mario, but watching him navigate this game has just been one of the best things for me and why it's so high on my list. This brings back all of the nostalgia that I had for a lot of these types of platformers. It's bringing it into a whole new generation of players, and I'm excited that this is our number 1.
Okay. Sam, do you want to go next?
Well said.
Yeah, I mean, we've obviously talked about this a lot on No Limits. I was happy when we live reacted to the Game Awards that this won Game of the Year. I think it's a perfect game, and that doesn't mean that it's like the best game ever. I just mean that on everything that it tries to do, it executes it flawlessly. My only real complaint is that I wish there was more of it, and I don't think that is a criticism that I can levy against the game when everything that it provides me is so polished, so colorful, so joyous. And of course, it goes without saying that there is an inherent PlayStation bias within me as a person, because I was born and raised on PlayStation through my father, and we've experienced a lot of the IP that are on display in this game together, which I won't spoil because Taylor still hasn't played it yet.
And probably won't for 2 to 3 years.
I'm gonna
But-
play it, guys.
But
I can't believe
yeah,
Euro Truck Simulator got a bot.
this is
In
what we
his
talk
defense,
about.
it probably takes like 7 hours to play. So, that's at least 3
Euro Truck Sim
4
2 is a
years.
big game.
Yeah, but Astro, I think, is just it put the biggest smile on my face playing a game that I probably think I've ever had. And yeah, it is a little bit self-indulgent, and people say it is an IP graveyard, and technically you're not wrong, but I think that the fact that it exists, we talked about this on No Limits, the fact that Sony, in an era where they don't make games like this, and they haven't for a long time, the fact that they let this come to fruition, and Asobi are framing it as a brand new, fresh start, clean slate for the IP. I think that this is the foundation of where that IP can go, is the most exciting thing. Yeah, and I think we just need more games like this, period. How tumultuous the industry is, we need smaller games that are more focused on the fun, and yeah, I think that this is a beacon that hopefully not just Sony but the industry at large gets the message from.
Bree, I feel like I want to save you for last because you're clearly like champing at the bit to talk about how much you love this game.
You do you. If you want to talk last, you can talk last. If you want me to talk last.
Yeah, so Astrobot was at number 5. I put it lower than everyone else. I think Astrobot is a fantastic 3D platformer. I don't quite hold it in such high regard as everyone else seems to. I think it's delightful. I think it's fun. It's charming. I love the IP representation in there from games you probably would never expect, and then the games you would expect, obviously, like the ones in the marketing, like Crash Bandicoot, right? Like that's not a surprise to anyone. It's been in trailers, but like when I see Crash represented in that format, it brings a smile to my face, like obviously. And I think that's what this game does so well. I loved Astro's Playroom as the pack-in, and Astrobot is just a continuation of everything that makes that game fantastic. The music, what did you say your name was? Like that's stuck in my head for months at this point. I think my issue with it is a bit, I don't want to say like, I feel like I've seen a lot of this before. Like I don't feel like we broke new ground is the problem. And maybe that's just because I play a ton of 3D platformers, but I'm not saying like this is one of the greats, but like there are others in the genre that I think are just as good that will get nowhere near this conversation from a 3D platforming standpoint, collectathon, like that type of thing. That's all I got to say.
Yep.
Okay. So in order to kind of give you guys my thoughts, I'm going to take you on a slight walk here because I have to explain something since I know that none of you guys interact with my side of the internet a lot of the time. So there is, of course, as I'm sure you guys are all aware, like Webtoon, Lezen, all of that kind of stuff where there's like manga and web comics that are all drawn. Basically, it takes years and years and years for people to finish this because they're hand drawing it by themselves, writing it by themselves. Sometimes can take 3-5 years, whatever, to finish this long thing. When they finish it, other authors from other series will draw the characters in their style and send it to them as like a congratulations. And it's one of the cutest things that I've ever seen in my life. And I have not seen it anywhere else before, where it's this like love letter of like, you worked so hard to finish this. And like, look, like this is, me showing my appreciation. That's what Astrobot felt like to me, where it was this one company that looked at all of the industry and was like, just wanted to appreciate and love video game history so much while also providing the most polished, like Sam said, like perfect game that has possibly, in my opinion, like ever existed. And I mean that as the same way Sam does. Like this isn't like the best game maybe that you'll ever play ever, but like the way that they perfected every single piece Like every single mechanic that they put in the game is perfected. Every piece of art, every asset, every background, everything, the music, every single track, it's all perfection. And it is the craziest thing to see a game dedicated to the love of video games and to the way that gamers love video games. It's genuinely feels like a love letter to video games as a whole. And yeah, I definitely will admit that I sobbed during the credits, not because I was sad, but because I was like so overwhelmed that like I don't know, I was just like so happy for the devs and like how much work that they had probably put into this and like how impactful it was for me. So I really love it.
So it says, thank you to remind me I'm behind Lore Olympus.
Yeah, you got to get caught up on that, Silicon. What are you doing?
Before we go any further, Sam, into
Yes.
our individual lists, which I think Kyle will be up first because I think he sent you his first.
Mhm.
I want to read our Patreon supporters lists that they sent in. So we have two. Thank you for supporting us over on patreon.com/SaveTheGameMedia. Couldn't do this without you guys. Silkenit, who's hanging out with us in the chat
Hi.
here, sent in 2 lists. He said top 5 AAA games. He has Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Astrobot, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Stellar Blade. Top 5 indie games: 1000X Resist, Mouthwashing, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, 9 Souls, and Neva, with a special mention list: Shadow of the Erd Tree for best expansion, still not a game. Another Crab's Treasure for second best Souls-like of the year.
So good.
Metaphor Refantasio, I guess Atlas pacing's not for me. Also good start, bad ending. And Balatro, even if higher stakes kick my ass. Great
Oh, yeah.
lists.
Those are honestly solid lists. You
What a
mentioned
year.
A few that'll be coming up for me.
Mouthwashing is also on my Steam wish list because people won't stop talking about it.
Mouth washing?
Okay,
yeah.
I've heard enough about this game. I'm adding it to my wish list. Fine.
And then we
Oh,
have
God.
Marcus O'Neill sending in his list, but he only did a top 5. His top 5, you have Indica at number 5. It's the narrative of this game that really shines. The further I get from playing it, the more I appreciate what it did. Number 4, Kyle, you'll appreciate this. Unicorn Overlord. Really dug Vanillaware's take on a strategy RPG. Number 3, Astrobot. Pure joy. Number 2, Animal Well. Loved exploring every nook and cranny of this unique Metroidvania. And number 1, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. No game did I have more fun playing this year. Absolutely nailed the story, tone, and characters.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome. So
Love it.
we have here. I'll just so you have the list. Full transparency. This is how the points equaled out across the games that made the list. So it was very close between the 4th and 3rd place ties. Very, very, very close.
If we just pop 1 up there, and then
If
we
you
can get
carry the
1.
1, divide by 3.
Stellar Blades.
You
number
forgot to do
2.
my double XP bonus though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's it. Damn.
Yeah.
Because you turned in the list so fast, or what?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
extra credit.
moving on to our individual list, that I've just realized that's very hard to read in full screen. My bad.
That's not that bad.
We move on
Fine.
to, again, in the order that they were submitted to me. Kyle, please wax lyrical about any games we did not discuss.
You could do your honorable and dishonorable mentions.
Of course, as well,
first,
yes.
As well, yes.
Dishonorable mention, Persona 3 Reload.
Wow.
Super boring. That was the worst Persona game I ever tried to play.
Did you play through the
But
whole
that's
thing?
supposed to be the best one.
No, it's not. Also dishonorable mention, Iodine Chronicles 100 Heroes. That one was super boring too.
Ooh, that's one I didn't put on my list. I agree. Dishonorable mention.
Even the mechanics in that felt so out of date, like not even in like a fun way.
There's one big one you're forgetting, Kyle.
What else came out this year?
What's one I played at the end of the year that you dropped?
Bloodborne.
Starts with a D from an RPG developer.
Doom.
Diablo?
No,
J-
Diablo's.
Dragon.
Oh,
Age.
Dragon Age, the Veilguard. Oh my goodness. Big dishonorable mention to that piece of crap.
He's so
What a
blunt.
horrible game. The combat was good for the first like 8 hours. Then you just realize, oh, necrotic is the most overpowered thing ever, and I can beat enemies 40 levels higher than me by just doing that. And then you just do like I never once was doing like the team combos because I was just so overpowered. It didn't matter. The dialogue was some of the worst written that I've ever seen in a video game in 30 years. Like ChatGPT, I think, could write a better script than this. Horrible. Did not feel realistic in any way. Is not how people talk. Everything bad. Well, no, that's too mean. 90% of the things that are said that are bad about this game online are 100% accurate. This game sucks. I hope we never get another Dragon Age game again. Let's just kill it. Let's just be done with this.
Damn.
If the next Mass Effect doesn't hit, or if it's even just another Andromeda level, just kill the studio. They're done.
Oh my god.
They've clearly bled all the talent that ever used to be there, and it's just full of people who have no idea what they're doing now. Awful. Oh my god. Yeah. Thank you for. That's how bad.
Sorry, I brought it up.
I blocked it out of my memory. That's how bad of a game it is. Oh man, that game sucks.
I thought it was a 7 out of 10, but
0.7 out of 10 maybe. That's just because it loads.
all right. You have any honorable mentions that did make your list?
The Stellar Blade would have been like number 6. No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Well,
Pretty-
run us through your list.
Pretty piss poor year for games. Pretty
Was it?
bad. Yeah.
I feel like you never like any of your games.
Yeah. No, last year was fantastic.
All right.
Last year was so much better than this year. It wasn't even close.
Kyle, can we have a conversation about how you did put Stellar Blade on your list? I'm still upset about this.
It's like right there at number 6. You
I
just
didn't
can't
put it
see
on
it.
my
It's like
list
in a
either.
special
That's
font.
fine that it should be in your top 5. I just want you to know I'm taking your role as my evil advisor into serious consideration based on this information.
I mean, technically, wouldn't he be the better evil advisor because his just opinions are bad?
Kyle,
See,
I
I
want
know.
you to know that you and I actually did not switch Unicorn Overlord and Metaphor Refit Hasteo. I just put Unicorn Overlord lower than you did. You actually brought it up. So our metaphor is the same position.
Oh, okay. Oh, because you put at number 1. All right, number 5, I put Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
Mhm.
The story was serviceable enough. I don't really care about the story like at all. It was I played for like 140 hours of this game, I think. It was so much fun with the combat and just teaming up with your friends and basically doing like a JRPG anime combat game where it's kind of like Monster Hunter, but like way more frantic and kinetic. It was awesome. They did stop updating it, and the player base has kind of died. But I think they should do more of this. Expand on this, make it less grindy though.
I'm with you.
Because the fan base is
apparently
playing versus.
Huh?
No,
Just the fan base is playing versus.
well, Versus came out first though, so I don't.
They went back to it, just like how nobody's playing COD anymore.
Maybe.
I mean, there's definitely people still playing COD. Apparently, I'm the only one who liked Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
That's not true. It just didn't make my top 5.
I'm the only one who enjoyed it. Y'all are crazy. Y'all don't Queen's Blood is one of the greatest card games in a video game ever for side content, and it should make the list alone based on that.
I hear you.
It was great. Echoes of Wisdom. You get to play as Zelda, and you get to solve puzzles, and it's super cute and fun. And what's not to like about it? And then I already talked about the other 2. So
Lovely.
Rebirth just I said Rebirth is the bloat goat. All right, there's too much going on.
You're
Tone
the
it down.
bloat goat.
Man, that's fair. That's fair.
If I didn't have to bleed that game to death for IGN coverage, it probably could have squeaked onto my list, but I soured on it because of, as Kev says, the bloat. So
Games journalism ruins another game.
Wait,
I'm
for
sorry.
Unicorn Overlord or Final Fantasy VII, Sam?
Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy 7. Yeah.
Unicorn Overlord.
Yeah, but you get to go on a date with Tifa.
I
or
know.
or Yuffie in my case.
No, you
Kate Sith.
definitely. Well, I mean, okay.
Yeah, we got the
All
date
right.
Barrett in the original.
Yeah, but nobody really ever wanted to date Aerith, so let's just.
Did I say Aerith?
That's what
I
I
don't know
heard.
what you said. That's what
said
I heard.
Barrett.
Oh, you could date Barrett still.
Oh, Barrett?
Yeah.
No, Barrett's a taken man.
Everyone knows Cloud and Sephiroth should have dated.
Oh my
That's
god.
just not true, Brie. Not true.
Cloud and Zach. It's like two men looking into a mirror.
Mm.
I would ship Cloud and Zack over Cloud and Sephiroth.
Okay. Moving on. Kev.
All right, here we go. I knew most of mine weren't gonna. Well, most of mine did make the list actually. I was surprised about that. But I knew the 2, 1, and 4 weren't going to make it. So I had Astrobot, and then 4 I have Ease X Nordics, which I think
It is pronounced Nordics, right?
yeah Nordics. Why?
Okay,
Yeah.
I keep hearing people say it not pronounced as Nordics, and I'm like, why are you saying it?
How
like
else
that?
would you pronounce it?
I don't know.
No idea.
It's based on like the Nordic area. Like they.
I don't know.
they-
There's a
Kevin, your number one game was Infinite Wealth.
there's
Yes,
a
you're
there's,
Yakuza. Yes.
Kevin, there's a YouTube personality that we both watch that
Yes.
mispronounces it constantly.
Yakuza.
So yeah, EaseX Nordics is based on the Nordic region. Like they turned Valhalla into Walhalla. Like that's literally how close they're trying to rip off this mythology. Okay.
Nice.
I just think that they elevated the combat in Ease. They put a different spin on it. They did take away the party system, but it was just you and one other character, and you were like dual combating the whole time. Very unique. I think the story was great. Karja, the other protagonist, was I was like, sorry, Adel, I'm playing as her. I think she instantly has become one of the best female characters in the Ease series. And they finally start teasing like the end game for the Ease series, like in one of the endings. So I think it's just, I don't know if it's better than 8, but it's one of my favorite Ease games, and I've played basically all of them at this point. So had to be in there for me. Oh, sorry. My honorable and dishonorable mentions. Forget what you just heard for the last 4 minutes, then put that after this, okay? Honorable mentions. Banishers Ghosts of New Eden.
Oh.
This would have probably been my number 6. I think this game gets way too much hate. I see people saying this is way too long. It's not even that long of a game. All right. You can do most things within probably 30, 40 hours. Like if you want a game that took listen, I hear people say it's 90 hours, and that's simply false. But if you want a game that took the God of War combat style and doesn't do it nearly as well, but is inspired by it, and then actually makes it an RPG set in colonial America, and you're like ghost hunting and stuff, like this has real good choice and consequence, multiple different endings, fantastic voice acting, fantastic characters. Like this is awesome, especially as someone that like loves like the Salem witch trial vibe. This game really incorporates that. My next one is Trails Through Daybreak. I'm not going to go long on that one. Another Falcon game. I love Trails every year. So can't wait for Trails Through Daybreak 2 coming out next month. Great
Let's be
stuff.
number 5.
Huh?
So
You think Trails? You think Trails should be number 5?
Yeah, I think it was just a better game, probably.
You didn't even play. You have name one character from Trails Through Daybreak, and I will put it number 5.
He's the fixer.
Shut your mouth. You don't even know what you're saying. And my last honorable mention, gonna make a lot of people mad here. Concord, all right? the best multiplayer game that came out this year. I don't care what anyone else says. I don't care that it's dead and you can't play it anymore. Okay. I don't care that Bree bought the game and never got to boot it up. All right. Concord was fantastic. It was the most fun I've had with my friend group in so long. We've been searching for something to get us back to that. Might have found it with Phasmophobia. Fantastic game as well. But Concord deserved better than what it got.
Amen.
By both the fans and the artists who made it.
Dishonorable mentions. I got quite a few of them here. Persona 3 Reload. Just a very disappointing Persona game. I love 4, I love 5, I love Metaphor. The worst dungeon in the history of JRPGs is in this game. There's absolutely no story to be found until the final 2 months of the calendar, and even then, it's just okay. The social links suck. I understand that they were the first time Atlas did that, but not for me.
But it's a remake of your game.
Yeah, exactly. It's a remake. Put some quality of life improvements. So Persona 3 Reload, I can never understand the praise it gets, but not for me. EAFC 25, what a hunk of garbage. Absolutely the worst FIFA I've ever played.
Maybe the worst sports game I've ever played.
Maybe. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Holy crap, how did they even let this game come out? I got this game free, and I played it until the final mission where I got a game-breaking bug, and then I said, well, I don't think the gameplay is going to change anything. Maybe I'll just watch the cutscene online.
You requested a refund immediately.
Not a good game. Not a good game. Although it's free on PS Plus Tuesday. So
yeah, sadly.
All right, I got 2 more. Shattered Space, the expansion for Starfield. I don't know what we're doing. Bethesda, I don't know what we're doing. Starfield, I really liked. I know it was divisive, but it was miles better than whatever you putting out for Shattered Space. They're like, oh, what if we take the most interesting lore-wise faction and make them boring diplomats, and then we'll put you in a 5 to 6 hour expansion with a story that is also really boring, and then it'll have a cool light show at the end of it, but almost you don't need to play this. All right, absolutely waste of time. Disgraceful. And my biggest dishonorable mention, the Plucky Squire. This might be my most disappointing game in years. I beat it. There really isn't many positive things for me to say. Handholdy, the awful mini games, especially at that last chapter, is painful to get through. I remember talking to Sam about it, and I was like, God, yes. Are you doing the stealth with the stupid mouse right now? Like, yeah. Oh my God, just a painful experience. Like, it doesn't even tell a good tale, and it's a shame because like there's beautiful artwork here. The animations when you go 3D. I wish the whole game was just a 3D platformer. Like, that is the best part of the game to me, when you're out of the book and doing all that stuff. Once you go into the book, it's like, we're just gonna walk page to page and like throw some words and try to solve these puzzles that are brain dead easy. Like, I'm really disappointed in the Plucky Squire, guys.
And Dragon Age of the Veil Guard.
Nope, that did not make my list. All right. Back to my actual list. The only other one I got to talk about, because we talked about all the other ones. Number 1, and I knew I was going to be the only person to put this, because I think I'm the only person that played it. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
Yes,
follow-up to Yakuza Like a Dragon, which I love. I think
Yakuza.
Yeah, I think Yakuza Like a Dragon is probably a better game from a story perspective. Like, I think it's more impactful. I think it's harder hitting. I think Infinite Wealth is it's a vision that they wanted, and they nailed it, because they wanted to combine Ichiban and Kiryu's stories, and they did it in a very fantastic way. That is still like emotional, has all the trappings of a Yakuza game. I think they do the mini games better than Rebirth. I think they do the Doku Doku Island, Animal Crossing stuff. Like, I think they implement all that way better than Final Fantasy VII Rebirth does. Even though some people say this is bloated, but I also just like they up the They upped the combat system. You can move now and position your opponents and your teammates and have sweet combo moves. Like everything about this has improved except the story, but it's still the best game I played this year. So Taylor, play it.
Oh yeah, but I need to play Yakuza 5, Yakuza 6, and Like a Dragon first, Kev.
No, you don't. Just play Like a Dragon. Then play this.
Gotta do that.
All right.
Taylor.
That's me
Right. Lovely. Taylor, your list, please.
Why are you laughing there, buddy?
I don't know. I think I played less than like 9 games this year. So I don't know if I have any real dishonorable mentions. Maybe the worst game I played in 2024 was Legend of Zelda 1. That's not saying it's a bad game. It's just average.
Would you say it was better or worse than your experience with Resident Evil 7?
I still need to play through Resident Evil 7, all right, with a walkthrough, because I don't want to run from door to door scared for my life.
I'm gonna be fully honest, Taylor. I know I was in the bathroom for the your bathroom part, but I did kind of get stuck there on my second playthrough. I was like, why isn't it continuing? I hear the door going, bathroom, outside, outside. What is going on?
For listeners who don't know, I played Resident Evil 7 on stream for 90 minutes during Extra Life, and I kept walking inside and outside of a specific bathroom near the beginning of the game, and I got a lot of crap for it.
Yeah, Naga, Chaka, and I still make fun of you, to be honest.
I don't get it.
Dude, oh my god, those
Well,
the wildest thing I've ever watched.
You get it, Taylor. Don't say you don't get it.
I don't get it. Thank you, John32 for Democracy. Helldivers. Zelda 1 is very old and you can feel it. Yes, so can it. So true. But yeah, I mean, yeah. If I was in your shoes, I'd be making fun of me too. You know, like how Kevin didn't fall asleep during 3:30 a.m.
I didn't.
You have it caught in 4K. Anyway, no. So outside of that, going into my top 5, Mario Party Jamboree Extra. I only played it at Extra Life, and I had so much fun with you guys playing it. And it's a delight of multiplayer game. One of the few big couch co-op franchises we have left. Mario Party Jam is Mario Party, and Jamboree did it really well, especially with their new. I don't know if they call it the assist system, but it's where Mario characters will come in and help you out on the board, who are not just, it's not just Bowser interacting with you, but it's Waluigi, it's Wario, it's etc.
Wow.
So yeah, Astro's Playroom, the precursor to Astrobot. I played it for the first time in 2024, and I had a really great time with it. Excellent platformer, and
but did
it'd
you
be hard to
platinum
think
it?
they could top it. Huh,
Did you
Kev?
platinum it?
I did not platinum it.
Why not?
You gotta do that.
I'm not a real platinum guy.
I didn't platinum it either.
Did you platinum
didn't even boot it
Astrobot?
up.
You see what I
I
have
did
to
not.
deal with?
I got
You
all
see
the
what I have
puzzle
to deal with?
pieces.
Sam,
Is that,
it's
isn't that good
between
enough?
you.
Hey, I platinum both of them.
I didn't platinum either.
Maybe
I deleted
maybe
it from
one
the
day.
console immediately.
I did that
Alright.
too. I did that too. Hey.
Okay, this is what I wonder, Bree. Why would you delete Playroom but then play Astrobot?
I did end up going back to play Playroom, but I'm saying the
Right.
moment I got my console the first time, I was like, what is this? And I deleted it.
No. It's one of the best tech demos ever.
Even
Anyway.
playing the game, I still wouldn't change the decision I made.
Yeah. Number 3, Control. I didn't play Control until this year.
Great game.
What a hell of a game. I played Alan Wake Remastered for the first time in 2023. And actually,
Great game.
I played American Nightmare last year, I think.
Hmm.
It
Did
was
you?
okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I beat it. Scratch is great. Highlight of the DLC, right? But
So now this year you can play Alan Wake 2.
this year I could play Alan Wake 2.
Join
Now,
us.
you should play Quantum Break instead.
You should
Mm.
also play Quantum Break because I
Okay.
played that for the first time this year. It's actually
Quantum
awesome.
Break, best Remedy game,
Whoa.
hands down.
Wow.
That's
Whoa.
I just
not
installed-
true.
I just installed Killzone. Maybe I don't want to go back and play 2004 Muddy Shooter like Resistance Fall of Man. Maybe I will go play Alan Wake 2.
Alan Wake
Cool.
2 and Quantum Break. Make it happen, Taylor.
All right. Well, both are available on. Well, my PC's an Xbox, so there you go.
I will
Everything's
say,
an Xbox.
if Control 2 doesn't fix the fact that you're locked in one location when you listen to tapes of people talking, I'm gonna freak out.
Bree, just download a mod and fix it.
Can
I
you?
lo-
I'm sure there's a way to.
How about you just
I-
listen and enjoy the story?
Yeah, I say,
But
yeah,
Control,
I kind of like standing there and watching like the
I'm
films.
doing
and
nothing. No,
stuff.
not the films. I'm talking about
Okay.
the
Audio.
audio recordings that you
Oh, yeah,
just
audio
literally
logs.
stand
Yeah,
and do
yeah.
nothing.
Anyway, Control. Jesse, the story of Jesse Faden is fantastic. Very much X-Files, Stranger Things, like sci-fi espionage type genre, and it hit really well. It ties in with Alan Wake. I'm so glad I played Alan Wake 1 before I played Control.
Mm-hmm.
The way they tied the two together is incredible.
But
And
Alan Wake 1 isn't a good game.
it is a great
so
game.
good.
It is a fantastic game.
Show me.
It's great using telekinesis and throwing objects at people in Control. It doesn't really get old. Maybe the only gripe I had about it is some of the side quests are really collectathons, which don't add much. Maybe I'll go back and finish some of them, but I know I have some left over, like get all the mold spots. And I'm like, maybe at the end I learned something interesting, but I'm not really that motivated to. But it's fine because I got through the main story and the DLCs and had a great time. Also, the different styles with your service weapon. It's not a gun, it's a service weapon. Okay, guys.
It's a gun.
You can turn it into something that's like a shotgun, like a machine gun, like a rifle, a grenade launcher. And yeah. Then number 2, Helldivers 2. Talked about it earlier. Don't think I have much else to add other than it was the best multiplayer experience I've had since Smash Ultimate. And number 1, Outer Wilds Echoes of the Eye. This is a DLC
I need to play
expansion
it.
for Outer Wilds. Echoes of the Eye came out in 2021. And I played it for the first time, or not for the first time. I got it a couple of years ago and then put it down, and I picked it back up this year. Actually, I was inspired by Bree to go back to it after she got the was it the Archaeologist or the Collector's
Mhm.
Edition?
Yeah, the Archaeologist Edition.
The
I think is
Archaeologist
what it was
Edition
called.
of Outer Wilds physically. And it sucked
It's
me
beautiful.
in, and I finally got the hang of it. I was very lost the first time I played it, but without the assistance of a walkthrough, I was able to find my way into the DLC and to progress, and it was amazing. It's some of the best environmental storytelling that rivals the base game. As I look back on it, maybe it's not as good as the base game because I feel like the base game felt much more epic in the grand task that you realize you need to do by the end of the game. But Echoes of the Eye it tells you a tragic historical story that also utilizes light in a way that I don't think games really have prior to this. And it is also some horror elements. Maybe I'm not going to say specifics, but it's very enthralling. And if you like deduction or environmental puzzle type games, you have to play Outer Wilds and Outer Wilds Echoes of the Eye. It was by far the most narratively gripping thing I played this year. And I still think about it. So Outer Wilds Echoes of the Eye. Yeah.
I can't
Awesome.
believe the final boss was John Wayne Gacy.
What?
Just
Oh,
go.
Max Payne? What are you talking about?
John Wayne Gacy.
What is John Wayne Gacy?
Are you kidding me? Google
You should
it.
look him up. You should look
Google.
up like how to.
I don't know what
how to
that
beat
means
him.
either.
I think. Oh my god.
You guys don't
Yeah.
know. Oh my
That
God.
was
John
a-
Wayne
that was a
Gacy was an
swing.
American serial killer. Wait,
Yeah,
what do you mean?
he was.
Why would the final boss be John Wayne Gacy?
You said it was deduction, and I was like, I was making a joke that you were a detective.
Oh,
I don't get it.
I get it now. I thought
He's
you
a
Gacy was-
serial killer,
He's a serial
Bree.
killer. Like if you said Jeffrey Dahmer or Ted Bundy.
Yeah, but if I pretend to not get it, then Kevin has to keep explaining.
Or
and
some
that's-
British serial killer for Sam. Do they have those over there?
Jack the Ripper.
We had Jack the Ripper back like
Yeah.
400 years ago.
Sam, that was like 120 years ago. 140 years ago.
Hey,
Taylor.
I'm still active.
You heard it here
Wait,
first.
what?
All right, Kyle, caught in 4K. All right.
All right, let's
Okay.
keep rolling.
Bree,
Yeah.
you're up next.
That's my name. Oh my god, you guys. Okay, so for my list, there are some things, of course, honorable, dishonorable mentions, all that fun stuff. I only have one dishonorable mention. And it's Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh,
Ooh.
Really?
I feel really sick about saying that. Yeah, so I really did not like Dragon's Dogma 2. I was incredibly disappointed. I've been waiting for this game for genuinely years. I really wanted to like it. For those people that say it's similar to Monster Hunter, you're just wrong. You're just wrong. Just because you hunt monsters in the game doesn't mean that it's a similar gameplay loop to Monster Hunter. And yeah, I was very upset about it. So yeah, really wanted to enjoy that game. Really didn't enjoy that game and was really bummed about it. A couple of honorable mentions that I'm going to kind of go through quickly. One, Potion Permit, really fun game. Clickolding, really weird game.
Clickolding.
Clickolding.
don't like
Definitely
that.
recommend playing it.
I love
It's a
clickolding.
very short experience. I think it's like 2 hours total. But I think it does interesting things. Definitely recommend. So
Oh,
definitely
I
some honorable
saw somebody
mention.
play that.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Another honorable mention that I want to throw out is because it's the way I started this year was Blasphemous 1 and 2. Really, really, really love those games.
You played The Last of Us 1 for the first time, and what didn't make your top 5?
What? The Last of Us.
Uh-huh.
Blasphemous. Taylor.
Blas-
Blasphemous.
Was about to say. All
Other
right.
people, you're not the first
Better
person
than The
to do
Last
that.
of Us.
Blasphemous.
Regardless, it would have been fine.
Kev hates Last of Us 1. I get it.
No, I
So
don't.
Blasphemous 1 and 2 are very good games, very difficult games, very good games. Someday maybe I'll get those platinums. Those platinums are really hard. And my two that are my biggest honorable mentions, one, Erd Tree. I really wanted to put it in my top 5. It probably would have been in 1 or 2. I love Erd Tree. I think that it's some of the best game content to exist out there. I understand everybody's argument, which is why I didn't put it on my list ever, because I didn't want to
That's
start
right.
the
I would have
whole.
told Sam to
It's
send
not a
that shit back.
game. So I didn't want to hear it, so that's why it's not on my list. But yeah, it definitely, if I was in charge, it would have been on my list. So, the last thing that I want to put, it's like the very top of my list of like honorable mentions, and I think probably would have been my number 1 or number 2, is Nine Souls. The reason it's on my honorable mention is because I have not finished the game, and I think I'm like a third of the way through the game, maybe halfway. I really don't think I'm halfway through, but maybe halfway at most. And it's genuinely one of the best gaming experiences I've had. I really love Nine Souls so much. If you haven't played it, you definitely should. I really can't recommend it enough. The story is incredible, the animations, the art, the music is so cool. It's such like I think they call it like Tau Punk, is like the style that they call the game, and it's really, really fun and spectacular. So those would be my honorable mentions. And then for my actual list, we talked about 1,000 Times Resist. So I'll skip past that. Neva is on my list. It was my most recent addition to the list. This is a really, really beautiful game. If you liked Gree, if you didn't like Gris, however you want to pronounce it. If you didn't like it, if you did like it, regardless, I think you should play this game. It's kind of a platforming game. I think it has a little bit more emphasis on like story and such, but you definitely do some really cool platforming stuff. This studio has a really interesting way of making the game, shifting the game mechanics by adding small things into the gameplay that like kind of change the world in small ways. This is no exception, and they did it in a very story-focused way. I cried really hard at this game, so it is very heart-wrenching. So if you can't deal with that, then maybe don't play it. But it's really, really good. The last thing on my list that we haven't talked about yet is Silent Hill 2. I really enjoyed Silent Hill 2. I think that Silent Hill 2 remake was kind of everything that I wanted the Resident Evil remakes to be. And didn't even realize it because at the time I did enjoy the Resident Evil remakes, but I think that this is kind of more of the game that I was expecting. I think I was more expecting like the psychological, a little bit less combat, a little bit more puzzles. My recommendation for the game, by the way, is setting the puzzle settings to hard and the combat to either easy or normal, depending on your skill level. Because I think that the puzzles really thrive on the hard setting. And it's a really big game. I was shocked how big it is. It's really fun. I really enjoyed it. Highly recommend it if you want anything that's like kind of spooky, if you're wanting like those fog vibes, if you're wanting Daddy Pyramid Head to chase you around, who knows?
Not that last one.
I've seen too many people cosplay him and like be super ripped, so
Good list. Good list.
thank you.
Lovely. Moving on, I believe we have Jampak Sam, who is.
I believe I'll handle this one for my co-host here. All right.
Oh god.
All right, okay.
All right. Number 5, Stalker 2. You take your guns, you go pew pew pew, and then they go pew, and you die. Helldivers, we already talked about. Black Ops 4. You take your gun, you go pew.
Black Ops
Black Ops
4.
4.
Black Ops 6. Pew. They honestly could have lied all. Pew.
Oh my god, these are all
Wait. Oh yeah, Kev, you didn't have Indiana Jones in your honorable mentions.
You take your don't tell me what I
You take
did
your
and didn't.
Indiana
put-
Jones
I also
and
didn't have
you go,
Hellblade 2 in there, all right? Lots of games don't make the cut. You take
Wow.
Indiana Jones, you take your fist and you go pow, pow, pow. And then the Space Marine 2, you take your gun and you go pew, pew, pew.
For the Imperium.
I'm gonna be honest, he does have a lot of shooters in here.
For the
I-
Imperium.
Honestly,
This
I
is
don't
like-
I don't know
This
why.
is like the bro shooter list.
Yeah.
That is Sam, and that's why
Sam's,
we love him.
Sam's openly admitted. He's the
A
360 bro shooter
disclaimer.
guy.
He's
disclaimer, I will-
closet as a bro.
I will throw a disclaimer in. Not that it matters, but when Jampak Sam did send me this list, he did say that they weren't in any order. But I did
Oh.
ask him if it was okay to cement it as the order that he sent me, and he said yes. So you can view this as interchangeable.
To be
But,
honest,
he
this
committed.
sounds like the order he would put them in.
Mm.
But I really
yeah.
need to emphasize the pew, pew, pew.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Gotta
Moving
love
on.
him.
Of course, this means Brandon. It is your turn, my guy.
Yeah, two
Tomba.
games on this list that we already talked about. But I do want to give my shade and praise. Suicide Squad should not exist. That should have been removed. Conker should have been yay, and then we all should have been happy. Can't wait to not play that game this month. Plucky Squire, everything I was okay with. I could deal with the in and out of the comic book. I can deal with the story haphazardly. I can even deal with the stealth mission at the end. You give my kid nightmares by making a Giger-esque final boss, and you've lost me more than anything. That was the worst ending you could have done for any type of game like that. As much as I enjoyed the game, for my last dishonorable mention, Foam Stars. I like Square Enix is keeping it going for people to play if they want to.
I forgot that came out.
Awful that it just fizzled out immediately. I did enjoy it though. Honorable mentions: Zenless Zone Zero for coming out this year. Thank you. Tales of Kizaru Zao. Really glad it got a mention at the Game Awards. I really love the story of it. I wish we can get more genuinely great indie narratives in a Metroidvania style like that. Because I'll admit something that Bree has admitted many times, that game at the end did make me cry. Because goddamn, that was a good, heartfelt story. And my last two, which make no sense to anybody but only to me, Sparking Zero. Thank you.
Nah,
Yes,
let's go.
Brandon. What do you mean? We wouldn't get it. I love Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and I'm gonna play Sparking one day.
I love Dragon Ball.
You
Bless
should.
you.
I played Sparking at PAX West. I have the medal that says I played Sparking Zero at PAX West. I waited in line to play it at PAX West. I was so excited to play it at PAX West.
I would love to have that medal, to be honest. And then rest in peace, Toriyama Sensei for Sandland.
Yeah,
That was the game
Toriyama
too
died.
that came out. Yeah, huh?
Now to my list, as is all out of left field, except Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is absolutely beautiful remake to a phenomenal game that was released on multiple consoles. They did such a good job with the remakes for 2 and 3 that 4 makes me feel way more confident about the remakes that are be coming up this year for what Capcom is doing. And just the heart and soul was still in the game. The quality was jacked up to the nines. And just it was still that beautiful fun that I love for good at Resident Evil games. 7, I hate that game so much.
That's ridiculous.
That's
a
crazy talk.
ridiculous thing to say.
I
Seven's
don't
fun.
like the fact that you're stuck in this house with just these people. As soon as you get out of the main area, you can leave.
Out of the bathroom?
Yes, out of the bathroom, through the window, jump. Yes, I platinumed it. I did Madhouse twice.
Wait, whoa. I platinumed this game. I did the highest difficulty twice, and I hate it.
Yep.
We all do things we're not proud of, Taylor.
I platinumed Balan Wonderland.
Okay, you're a
that's over my
psychopath.
commitment. Yes.
Brandon, these nice men are gonna come in white coats and take you upstate.
Don't worry, Kyle. They have a bed already for me
Yeah.
from the last time I was there. And the other two on here that you guys may or may not seen, but have heard me mentioned many times, Ultros was a beautiful acid trip of a game.
I did buy that game, and I played a very short amount, but I had too much to play at the time. But yeah, the color scheme of that game is insane.
Oh my god, yes.
Color
The plat was a little rough with needing to interconnect almost everything, but it was so fun to figure out what plants go where, what you can do, how this game takes like a roguelike loop, but makes it more interesting. That's why that sat at my number 5 from way back in February. And Tomba, Sam, you forgot to put the exclamation mark.
I did it to. I'm going to pretend I did it to spite you, Brandon, but I made a mistake. I'm sorry.
Oh,
me,
you
please.
Brit.
Forgive me.
British people don't have exclamation points.
That's true.
You
We
guys-
don't use punctuation.
Do you guys know what treacle is?
What's English?
Treacle
Treacle.
tart.
You can put Tombi if you wanted to
I
go.
know
the
what a
English way.
trico is.
Yeah, Trico.
Treacle
Pokemon.
tart.
Exactly. I thought Trico too, as well.
No,
The
Tom.
Pokemon.
I'm so happy that Tomba is getting a resurgence. 2 games for the original PlayStation. Amazing 2.5D platformer with a front and background that you can actually work with. And it's a collector fest. It's got a nice little humble story. Combat is the most simplest thing you can do, but it's more about the exploration, the story, and just I love this game. It's not my number 1 because obviously Stellar Blade Astrobot, but it's my number 3 because this is pure nostalgia bait for me. And I love that limited run was working with that new engine to get things going. So yeah,
Awesome.
there's mine. There's mine. There's my
Lovely.
diatribe.
Good stuff.
Tomba.
Which means finally it comes to me.
1,000 times just as number
Didn't you
1.
technically
Yep.
submit your list first?
I mean, yeah, but I wanted to give you all the space to speak first because I'm courteous like that, you know.
No, I beat it to him. I beat him to it.
Mouth
That's right. That's right. Carl actually got there ahead of me. Yes. So number 5. Actually, no. I'm going to do honorable, dishonorable. Dishonorable might be contentious. Take it with a pinch of salt. I'm going to say Indiana Jones.
What?
Oh,
The reason
Sam?
I say that is because I think that the first 2/3 of the game are excellent. And I think then you reach the 3rd region of the game.
Oh no, yeah, the region sucks.
And the 3rd region is, I think, objectively terrible. And though some of the more interesting puzzle and fights happen in that
Mhm.
region. I think that the design of the region I wanted to speed through and just get the main bits done. I didn't want to do any exploring. Just really soured it for me. And I do think that the fact that the combat didn't really evolve in any way stung a little bit, because the final boss did just turn into sort of button mashing, throwing punches. And I thought that was a little bit of a letdown. I still love the story. I think the presentation is gorgeous. Performances, music, all of that is top tier, I think. But ultimately, I did leave the game feeling soured, and I wish that I had the same feeling I did for the first 2/3. So that's why it's a dishonorable. It's not a bad game, but I just wish that it stuck the landing a little bit more for me. Honorable, I do have a few. I will throw out one for Concord as well. I'm right there
Let's
with
go.
you. Deserve better.
Pew pew.
Biggest heartbreak, yeah, pew pew, forever in the sky. I will also throw a recommend out for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I think that is an excellent Metroidvania that came out. Obviously, that studio or team is dissolved now within Ubisoft. Good job, guys. But yeah, really excellent game. Thoroughly deserved. I think it did win a Game Award. And the other one I'll give a shout out to is Rise of the Golden Idol. I really loved Case of the Golden Idol, and Rise is a sequel that gives you equally challenging and interesting puzzles to solve, whilst presenting a continuation of the narrative, but it really escalates in super interesting ways. And also, I played through the game with my dad, so I think that having that communal back and forth and writing notes and deducing things really aided that game for me. My list, most of the top 3 we've already talked about, but 5 we have Animal Well. Early in the year, I think it is one of the most innovative, I guess, Metroidvanias that I've ever played. It is gorgeous in terms of its sort of very pixelated art style, but it's a game, and most Metroidvanias people say this about, but this truly is a game where you are told essentially nothing, and you just have to figure out what things do. You have to figure out what the mechanics are. And I think other Metroidvanias replicate that, but it isn't the entirety of the experience. And I think Animal Well walked a very fine line where that can become very frustrating very quickly. But I think just thinking outside of the box, using tools like a slinky, a yo-yo, firecrackers, a bubble wand, using all of those things to solve puzzles, to maneuver around, reach new areas. And it's entirely emergent. You can find one tool first, and that will entirely change the areas you can explore and discover first. So no two playthroughs are really the same. I think that's exciting. For a first game from Donkey as well is very impressive. And
Big
then
mode.
fourth, big mode. Fourth is Mouthwashing. I saw
Listerine.
Silkanet mention it in the chat earlier. You talked about it as well, Kev. That's on your wish list. Another late addition, similar to 1,000 Times Resist, within the past couple of months. This surfaced for me. I tried it out. And like Silkanet said in the chat, it's 2, maybe 2.5 hours long. But it is, as someone who, I'm not going to bring up The Last of Us Part 2, but I am, because I'm the type of guy that likes to be challenged by things, by narratives, by plot elements, by characters. I like feeling uncomfortable. And Mouthwashing is potentially the most disturbing game I've ever played. I would say there is probably a fair amount of trigger warnings associated with this game in terms of the themes that it tackles. So do be careful going in, but I don't think that should put you off from experiencing, I think, some of the most just hammer nail on the head writing that I've seen in a long time. Gorgeous PS1 demake style graphics, excellent music, doesn't overstay its welcome, super inventive, with the way that it conveys things in a similar way to 1,000 Times Resist. The staging and cinematography is gorgeous and very unique. So I can't recommend that highly enough. And then, as the rest of the list goes, Helldivers 2, Astrobot, and then 1,000 Times Resist as my game of the year. So that is everyone's list. I guess all
We
that's
did
left
it.
before we wrap it up is here's to 2025, everyone.
Oh yeah, GTA 6. Let's go.
Not
Yeah,
coming
if you
out
say
till
so.
next year.
Good luck.
Well, certainly won't be on my list.
Am I the only one
Same.
who's excited for GTA 6 and is going to play it day one?
I will not be playing it.
I'm not gonna play
Not
it at
playing
all.
it.
Me and
I'll
Jam Pack
rent it
Sam.
from GameStop at some point.
You know Jam Pack Sam will.
Yeah, probably. Speaking of
Thank you,
2025,
John.
for Patreon supporters or anyone that isn't and is interested, in 2 weeks on the 19th, we will be doing our fantasy critic draft for 2025. January is kind of a slow month, so it gave us some time. We might have some special rules this year. We're still talking about that, but yeah, we'll be drafting 15 games each, dividing it into teams based on the show. Brandon, unfortunately, you're solo this year, but
Hey, I
to be-
ended
to be
solo
fair,
last year. I'll
you
start
were
solo
solo.
this
Yeah,
year.
to be fair, you ended up solo last year. At least this year, you don't have to be weighed down by Amon's picks, and this year, no limits can't cheat. So there's that too. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Stop the count, yeah.
That's stop the count. So if you're interested in that, you can go over to patreon.com/savethegame.
Look at him. He's already planning on cheating.
I know. He's already looking stuff up. I can't believe it.
I was replying to John.
No. Hi, Nissa. Unfortunately, we're just about to end the show, but you got an hour and 40 minutes worth of content you can check out. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. On behalf of Save the Game Media, appreciate you, and we will see you throughout
What's going
2025.
on, Nisa? Shout out. Sorry, we have to leave. Bye.
Just remember, everyone, Concord forever. Me and my crew.